Hello, everyone. I'm seriously doubting my ability to start streams completely prepared. So, just checking over everything again. But hello. Welcome, everyone. Playing Monk. I guess I should check this. So I think, yeah, this is all correct. I reset the save file, so there's, nothing here. I think, everything's good. Let me know if the audio is alright. I mean, there's not much game audio at the moment. I think that's all. Get started. I have splits on because Monk is a pretty chill category. And also because I actually want to look for time saves compared to my previous run. Mainly in Shoreline and Outer Expanse, I believe, are the big ones. Yeah, I used to keep that away from me. Because it actually works in all regions, but also, oops, I'm not playing Spearmaster. Hold up, I need to remember, I'm Monk, okay. Keep that away from me. Also lets you pick which creatures you want to disable. So if you want, you can choose to disable only hostile creatures, like lizards and vultures and such. And if the speedrun ever involves Jetfish, I didn't even get that one. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't need much food. So if your speedrun involves Jetfish or Reindeer or, you know, creatures that actually would help the run, then you can keep them enabled instead of just disabling all creatures in general. Okay. Kind of am like all Spearmaster muscle memory now, so I need to stop doing that. It does make a huge difference. Monk is only slightly slower, but yeah, it's noticeable. Yeah, sure. This is a warm up run. So the thing that I need to remember here is that I need to Karma Catch to level 5, and then one more than that, and that's enough. I haven't really practiced this run at all since the last time I played it, which was maybe a few weeks ago. But I don't know, I'm not too worried. There's a lot of overlap between this run and other runs that I've done. Mainly Speedermaster. Just going up the wall, you know, I mean, it's the same route for a lot of characters. Going from outskirts to pebbles is not too rare. Do I need to Karma Cache again? I think I do, because it would pause if I got up passage. I should probably pay attention to it more. I'm most worried about Submerged and Outer Expanse, because they're parts of the run that have kind of difficult movements in some parts, or things that you have to, like, memorize. Like in Submerged, there's kind of a sequence of, like, bubble fruit that you need to get. So there's a bit of memorization there, like when you need to pick up bubble fruit, when you can just keep going. And I don't think I've perfected that. Maybe I should if I'm trying to optimize this category, but I'm not too worried about it. I think I'm mostly focused on just getting one clean run without any deaths, because the last run actually had deaths in it, I believe. That was about 1 hour and 7 minutes. Oh, really? I got scammed. Scrap, get those rocks. Okay. This skip isn't as important for Monk. Okay, that really sucked. Because there's no drop wigs here, so you don't really need to do that. That ended up just losing me a bunch of time. Alright, I'm gonna be behind by 25 seconds for the rest of the run. I think that Monk and Survivor have identical stats, pretty much. Other than, like, spear damage and a few other obscure things. Movement speed, I mean, compared to, like, Hunter and Spearmaster and such, that's the difference. I don't have a spear right now, which is unfortunate. Nice. Actually got that first try. Movement speed is the main one that you're going to feel when playing Monk compared to Hunter. But it's the same as if you were playing Survivor. There's nothing different about Monk specifically. Oops. Excuse me. This is potentially annoying. Okay. That could have been a lot worse if he actually kind of trapped me down there. Not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna blame that on a lag spike. Pink Lizard here? Yeah, they're leaving. Lost the rhythm there, but I did save a little bit of time. As in 4 seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the backflip is the same too. I don't even know what would be different. I don't think I would have made that jump. I need an item right now. Rock is fine. Spear is also good. Although I might need to use the spear on this guy. Shoot. I spear pinned him. I'll just get him out of the way. Probably should have just done that immediately. But I was thinking I could just sneak past him. Nice. Don't mind me. Monk privilege. Oh shoot. There you go. In-game time loss or real-time time loss. I had that muted. Didn't realize. Oh, I didn't jump high enough. I think there's also a pretty big time loss here. That's a white lizard. They literally don't care about you at all. You can jump straight into a white lizard's mouth and they don't even notice. Okay. Don't like the start. Very, very bad start so far. I don't even know what lost time there. I guess the blue blizzard. I mean, for new players, where the karma symbols are completely new to them, first thing I think they notice is that the first one is an upside down 2. It's like slightly recognizable. You could say that the second one is a modern J, perhaps. Really? I fell through both holes. Okay, there's a spear up there. I forgot the swallowing a rock strategy, so I kind of got lucky here to get a spear. Or, I mean, I could have just brought another rock. Like a rock and a spear is usually ideal for this. Excuse me. Jump on the blizzard. They don't mind. Yeah, Monk. Monk is very nice though. I do appreciate the freeness. Or some may say freedom. Although that's not quite the same meaning. Whoops. Oh gosh. Okay, I kind of messed up that movement. I keep making mistakes. You know, this is just warm up. You know, this is a warm up run, not serious yet. Like just at the first run, to be able to make it to the wall, despite a bunch of time losses and lizards. Like that's pretty nice. I'll take that in speedruns. bunch of overseers. I think I'm not forgetting anything in this route, so that's important. Other than I need to like grab 2 neurons from pebbles and maybe also eat one. Although I don't know about eating one, because you go through shaded in this run, so long overseers. It would be nice to see in shaded, because there's a few really dark rooms, as well as in submerged. It might help a little bit. I don't know about that one though. But you know, if the neurons are in a good spot, oh shoot. Well, it's nice knowing y'all. That's the best I'm going to get. Okay, remember spear. That was the thing I was forgetting. It amazes me that people actually are like, yeah, I'll use a curl turn vault for that movement. I don't need a spear. Like, what? Are you good? Oh gosh. I'm still throwing. Do a pounce here. Yeah, actually, because I was walking slower, I thought I had to time that earlier. So that's where I messed up first time. Actually, it doesn't matter. I need to remember I don't need all the food in this room. Like I can actually just carry 2 of them with me. Okay, got stuck in the door stuck. Keep hitting the mic. Sorry about that if it's loud. I don't know if you can hear when I do that. You good, Monk? I didn't make it. Here's a strange energy. Thank you, Oreo. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Need to make sure that I don't mess up the dragon jump. That's the main thing I'm worried about. I mean, honestly, for a monk, it probably doesn't make a huge difference to get that compared to Spearmaster. The Spearmaster, if you go the other way, you need to deal with the drop wigs. Okay, obviously, I'm not actually, like, throwing the run. But I know that I'm able to do a lot better, you know, making obvious mistakes like that. Actually, you're not late at all. This is the first attempt of the day, definitely. Okay, one more after this. Oh, something else that I want to look into, just kind of on the side. There's potentially some memory leak issues in Downpour. And so I specifically want to look at memory usage after I do a bunch of attempts. Okay, there's no rocks here, so I don't even get to attempt it. Game is keeping me safe. Although this guy isn't very safe. Apparently the problem is with Downpour region specifically. So, you know, after Submerged, I think is when I'll actually see if there's a problem. Submerged or Outer Expanse. Okay, that was a lot better. Actual time save in a speed run. There's a blue lizard up here. Not a problem. I'm literally throwing rocks right now. It could be something like right here in this room. Thanks for the speed boost, but it didn't help. He's trying. I mean, if you're using mods, then, you know, it's hard to tell what the game is crashing from. But, like, just in, well, not quite vanilla, but a handful of mods that we know are stable at most. That's where it's actually important. Because if you're using mods, you kind of know that there's a chance of there being game crashes or lag or, you know, any other problem. That's kind of just expected with a lot of mods. But with like just base Downpour, you know, if there's problems there, then they should be fixed. That's a bigger priority. I mean, hopefully if there's problems with mods, those also get fixed, of course. But Downpour, of course, kind of encompasses everything. I'll just jump off, please. There's a full trip there. Apparently, also, the developers of Downpour can't just release a patch for the game because they only want to update it for something like major. Like, they only want to have like a major constant update, and then that's what also come along with like bug fixes and that kind of stuff. So I guess we've just been waiting until they're releasing like an actual substantial amount of content. You're in the way, dude. Uh-oh. Okay, whitelisters usually aren't a problem, but they could. Okay, that's a very unique way to deal with one. It's so funny. Whitelisters might as well not exist as Monk. For the sake of speedrun. Well, I guess casually too, you kind of just ignore them. But if you don't know, then you might kind of be scared of them for no reason. I can't do that, can't do that full hop anymore. Maybe I should just practice that specifically. Vulture, actually dangerous creature detected. What is this song? I think it's Noisy. I'm pretty sure. Thank you. I've been thinking, I've been thinking of making a list of, did I already talk about this? I might have. I've been thinking about making a list of speedrun categories that I recommend people play. Because, it's very daunting to see all of the different things you can do in this game. All the different speedruns, all those, like every character has a story percent run, every character has an any percent run, an ascension run. I guess you call it pilgrimage. They have 100% runs. Then there's other categories. There's like the expeditions. There's a whole lot of things to do in this game. And if you just like, I want to speedrun Rain World, like which one do you pick? So I kind of want to create a list of like recommended categories, ones that are like easier, so like more approachable for newer players. If you just want to get into speedrunning without like having to focus too much on like learning stuff. I could split some speedruns based on like movement tech required. Like if a speedrun requires some advanced movement just to do the run in the first place, which I mean that kind of thing isn't too common. Like I know in some games, there's some like obscure movement tech that saves like so much time. You're kind of required to learn it if you want to like speedrun the game at all. Don't mess up this movement. That kind of thing isn't really common in Rain World. I guess you could say it's a thing in any percent 1.5 because of the Guardian despawn. If you didn't know how to do the Guardian despawn, you lost a lot of time because that was by far the best technique you could use there. I have a rock this time. This orb skip is quite difficult and it saves a lot of time and difficulty with the lizards in this room. I actually messed that up pretty obviously. There we go. In this run also, there's some difficult movement. Like, I'd say for the most part, Monk's story is pretty easy. Like the fact that you can just kind of ignore some creatures. Like all the lizards here would normally be a huge pain. I mean, actually, they're gonna be a huge pain. Or not. But you can kind of just ignore them. They're not as big of a problem as they would be for other characters in other speedruns. What are you guys doing? But then, you have to go to submerged superstructure. You have to learn all the movements there. And the swimming, you need to learn how to do outer expanse movement. Is this guy gonna move? He's actually just gonna hang out right there. I'm dead. That's annoying. He just decided to camp that one spot. That would be a problem. Pebble percent requires, I guess the movement isn't too difficult, but if you want to get to pebbles from the wall, you need to know how to do spear pins. So like if you're super new to the game and you want to try a speedrun, then you kind of have to learn that, but that's kind of the only first thing you have to do. I guess there's drainage system. Swimming there can be a little bit tricky, but you know, that's new movement. You know, most of the time there's not anything that's like completely required. So I'd say that the biggest impact on it, how approachable a speedrun is the creature difficulty and the route complexity. Because if the route is like super long and convoluted and like goes all over the place, okay, that guy was camping my fruit. It can just be hard to like know where to go, and it's a lot to learn. Like a lot of rooms to go through. Like shorter runs are obviously going to be easier to learn. Just less rooms to go through. This category, I mean, sometimes long categories can be nice because you don't need to optimize it like 100%. There's a bit of leniency there. Like losing 5 minutes in a 20-minute run is a huge deal, but losing 5 minutes in an hour-long run, like, you know, not too huge. I mean, still a big deal obviously if you're going for a really good time, but just casually, you know, don't worry about it. And I see a lot of the time people on the Rainroll Discord actually asking about this. They're like, hey, I want to speedrun this game. What should I do? It's like, well, just like 20 options. 20 obvious options if you ignore a lot of stuff, you know. This guy's being nice right now. And some people may want to play certain characters without realizing how difficult they are. Like, I really like Spearmaster. I want to speedrun Spearmaster. Like, you don't know what you're getting into. Or, like, Rivulet, for example. If someone wants to... Yes, that would be a big deal. If someone wants to speedrun Rivulets, story percent is not the best option, I don't think. Because there's a lot of different things you have to learn. You have to learn grapple worm movement, you have to learn refraction cell movement, you have to learn zero gravity movement. And just Rivulet movement in general is unique, although if you want to speedrun Rivulet, you probably like the movement for Rivulet. Anyway, there's other categories that are way easier. The one that I would probably recommend is Pilgrimage, because it's basically just Riv, but you don't use the grapple worm, you don't use the refraction cell, you don't go into any zero gravity place. Although the route complexity is a little bit higher since you have to go get a bunch of echoes and stay in specific shelters. It's not too bad. New timing method? Yes. So there's a few ways you can get that timing. One is the timer fix mod. So there's a mod that like changes the timer, or actually it just gives you a bunch of new timers, and then one of them, free timer, is the one that's accurate. Or you could get an auto splitter. So the live split that I have, it should be in the bottom right corner. There's an auto splitter that basically pauses when you're in menus and when you do certain other actions that don't actually change the in-game timer. Because the in-game timer right now, if you actually look at it, it's inaccurate. Every time you karma cache, it like goes backward by like 20 seconds or so. But basically, all the new timing method is basically in-game time, but you add back the time that karma caching removes. So if you look at the timer right now, 1 minute and 57 seconds. So 1:57. I might actually continue here. Yeah, it's continuing. So the actual time should be 2 minutes and 2 seconds. But when I continue the game, it goes back to 1:45. So it just lost like 20 seconds. So that time will be added back on to the end of the run. That's pretty much all it means. So if you don't really need to change the way that you do speedruns. But know that the time that you see at the end of the run isn't completely accurate. It's usually, I mean, it depends on how much karma caching there is. And because of this run, how it has a decent amount of karma caching, I think it should add about like a minute or maybe 2 minutes at the end of the time. Just correcting for it. Nice. All you need to know, really, is that whenever the in-game timer at the top of the screen, if it ever goes backwards, however much time it goes backwards by is how much time that would be added back after the fact. Goodness. It's a blender in here. You gonna drop me? Time loss, but not a huge one. Yeah, I guess I'll just take this lizard with me. And that's something that the moderators will take care of. So if you're doing a speedrun yourself, don't worry about it at all. Moderators will add it back in when you submit your run. If anyone here does speedruns. And I don't really use the auto splitters, so I'm not going to use that option. And the mod that fixes the timer has potentially led to crashes, as some people have reported. So, you know, if you don't want the game to crash, it's probably not the best option. Yeah, if you're on Switch, I don't think you have any of those options anyway. Like, you can't use mods, you can't use an auto splitter, so just don't worry about it at all. The mods will take care of that. Or you could actually calculate it yourself after you record the run. If you know how the timing works, but you know, you don't need to worry about it. Like how many egg bugs there are for Monk. Like they're replacing all the dangerous blizzards and such. They're like, oh shoot, I don't know what to replace these with. I guess we'll just put in a bunch of egg bugs. Oh dear. Are they trying to hit me or are they aiming at something else? No, they're aiming at me. Or maybe the overseer. Ah, lizard. Well, he's carrying me up. Other blue lizard, are we doing this again? No, they're not interested. Yeah, blue lizards are probably the main threat to Monk. Like white lizards, don't worry about them. Green lizards are too slow. Caramels are, well, caramels can be a little bit of a pain, but there's only one of them really. Blue lizards, they will actually go for you. If I had a rock there, I think I would have been fine. By the way, monk will never die to a lizard bite immediately. Except for red lizards. But you don't need to worry about those. So normally when a lizard bites you, there is a random chance of you dying just instantly. Whoops. For blue lizards, I think it's a 33% chance, 1/3. For green lizards, it's like 80. For pink lizards, it's like also 30. For most lizards, it's around 30%. For monk, it's 0% all the time. So you will always be able to release yourself if you have a rock or a spear. I don't think you should do that kind of movement here. Please, just grab the fruit. Even that guy didn't really care. Kind of surprising, actually. Pink lizards are usually very aggressive. Troll lizard's a predecessor. I guess this is kind of late in the timeline, right? Monk is... well, I guess not really. There's quite a big time difference between Monk and Riv, and then Riv and Saint. You know what, actually? I'm gonna change my approach. Monk does not need to be hyper-optimized. I'm gonna take my time, actually. If there's lizards in the way, I will deal with the lizards and then move on. I don't think it will make a huge difference. What will make a much bigger difference in this run is not dying in the places where I did die before, or where I made a major mistake. Those are where the big improvements in this run are from, not from dealing with lizards slightly faster, you know. And most of the time, the lizards shouldn't be a problem. I guess I just need to focus on blue lizards mainly. Going up chimney in the wall. Although there's not many on the wall. Speaking of things, I'm wondering if I should do more Saint runs, because the Saint story percent run can be improved by a significant amount. Or actually, another idea is to go back to any percent, because I actually ran Saints any percent quite a while before story percent. Because, you know, before, when I kind of started speedrunning Downpour, I was just looking for categories that I enjoyed, and now I'm kind of just doing all the story percent categories has been my main focus. So comparing Saints story and Saints any percent, I like the any percent run more, but the story percent run is technically more important because it's like one of the main categories, and any percents are like the side categories, you know. But because of how much that I've ran Saint story percent now, I probably improved the any percent run, because they're pretty much the same exact run. Nice. It's also a good thing that I got a spear there. I need to remember that I actually need spears. Potentially a bad thing about the dragon jump is that you won't grab a spear where you normally would. But that was a little bit late. No lizard this time. Okay. I'm worried about that jump for Monk. It's pretty easy as Spear Master. There's a wall pounce you can do in this room. I don't actually know if it saves time. It looks pretty cool. I didn't have a rock though. But I don't usually go for it anyway. I'm good, dude. You can do your own thing. I'm not worried about him actually jumping up and getting me. But it's a Karma Lizard. I shouldn't have high expectations. Although, it's usually when you're underestimating a Karma Lizard, that's when they get you. Like, surely he won't jump and actually grab me, and then they jump and grab you. But then the next 10 interactions you have with a Karma Lizard, they just, like, jump backwards into a pit. Like, well, yep, that's typical Karma behavior. Okay, that was decent though. Gold split. Wow. Get into Rubicon in one cycle. I personally recommend going to the right. Yeah, the right side. Right side route to Rubicon is usually more safe. You still have to deal with Mirror Vultures. Unfortunately, I don't have any advice for Mirror Vultures. They will just sometimes kill you. Good luck. That's a scavenger. But as long as you, like, if you take the right side routes, there's not too many things that are very dangerous. And you can just kind of, like, move at a consistent pace. And by the time you make it to the, like, underhang-like room, that's when it should start raining, but you can pretty much make it to the pipe from there. Make sure that you don't use the lights too often. You need to save it for the Guardian rooms. Because honestly, the biggest time loss you can make is not having enough meter left to ascend the Guardians. So if you don't have enough, you just have to sit there and wait for it to recharge, and that takes a very long time. Their vulture. Okay, I'm not gonna risk that with Monk. Wow, that was a lot better. See, it's a lot more fun to have splits on a category that isn't as optimized because you're always saving time. you jump too much there, you actually go backwards. I think Monk is just a slug cat. And they're just like pretty cool. So the creatures are like, alright, I won't try to eat you. You seem cool. Although, you know, anyone think that before Downpour, that the nature of a slug cat like is reflected in the world? So Hunter, who is more violent, or maybe not even by choice, but they were like carnivore, right? So they just need to kill stuff to get food. But because they were more violent, the world was more harsh for them, and they had to deal with like more difficult creatures and such. Survivor was kind of in the middle, and then Monk is more peaceful, and so that is reflected in the world also being more peaceful. And they're being less dangerous creatures. But then Downpour comes along, and it's like, well, Saint is like the most peaceful slug guy, and they have like not very easy spawns. They still have like hunter creatures and such, you know, soldiers. I guess the theory could still work with Artificer and Spearmaster, but it also kind of falls apart for Rivulets, because Rivulets should also be pretty peaceful. I mean, maybe they're just kind of like an Agents of Chaos, and you know, maybe they kill stuff, maybe they don't. But I find that Rivulet mostly just focus on running away from creatures instead of fighting them. Most people end up only killing like a handful of creatures in a whole campaign. Yeah, creature spawn. I mean, creature spawns aren't awful, but they're not great. I guess maybe it still kind of works, and maybe the spawns are different for Saint because they ascend stuff, and that's like more than violent, like a level above, even though they're not actually like killing stuff. Not forget a spear, thank you. I will not forget a spear. There should be a spear in the next room. Oh, lizard. I don't see any spears at all. That's a little concerning. Okay, there's a spear there. We're good. It's kind of funny how good Rain World players get at recognizing, like, sticks. You know, sometimes I kind of realize that there's comparisons between artificial intelligence and human intelligence that is, like, kind of, like, surprising. Maybe some artificial intelligence is actually like more closely mimicking human intelligence than we think. Because, you know, the way that AI can like recognize images is like kind of similar to the way that we recognize images. They're, like picking out specific like shapes and such. I'm not completely familiar on how it works, but there's basically ways that you can apply like a filter to an image that makes certain features like pop out. Like edge detection, and then you combine edge detection with something else, and it like becomes like some specific shape detection. You can kind of just like keep expanding on that. I kind of realized that, you know, sometimes the way that I recognize things in an image kind of feels the same way, you know, the way that you look for specific shapes, or the way that certain shapes can just kind of stand out in like a busy background. Like when you're playing Rain World and you're looking for a spear, even though there's like all sorts of things going on in the background and the foreground and maybe creatures and stuff, if you just see it like a stick, if you see this shape, you will notice it, or at least I will notice it. Like I'm always looking out for them. So the part of my brain that is like that has been trained to look for stick-like shapes, you know, it's kind of similar, you know. I guess also like kind of connected to that, the way that some large language models work. They're basically just like text predictors, you know. I'm drifting for some reason. Basically, given a sequence of words, they can predict what the next word in that sequence should be. I forgot to make it Chinese. That's actually a time save here. I just remembered that now. Hi, Pebbles. Here's an artificial intelligence. What was it that I was just talking about? All right, large language models. So they're basically just trying to predict the next word in a sequence of words. And somehow, even though that's a very simple idea, you would think that like, oh, if you can only predict the next word in a sentence, like you're not going to be able to create like a coherent paragraph or like a whole, you know, a whole text. Like just doing one word at a time, that doesn't seem like it would work. But that's also kind of the way that humans work. Like we're very good at predicting the next thing that's going to happen. We're always like, you know, we're always kind of like predicting what's going to happen. I think I want to eat another neuron here. Oh, shoot, I actually forgot to do something. I'm supposed to do this sequence differently. I'll just drift. Oops, a little too low. A little too low. This is probably the most like random part of the run. Just like if the neurons just like fly into your hands, then you're good. But if not, then you just drift around aimlessly for like a minute. Oh. Nice. Okay, I need another one. Oh, that was close. Okay, there we go. Don't mind me, I'll just taking these. I think you're supposed to eat the popcorn first, and then you can store one of these in your stomach. So that you can throw a boost. Maybe that doesn't save too much time. I don't know. White lizard. Okay, this isn't the fastest way to do this room. Not even close. I need to just eat all of this, really. That was kind of slow, so a bit of time lost here, but not actually too much, because I'm leaving very quickly. That's pretty much on pace. Now we get to cosplay Spearmaster and carry this around. So we're not going through pebbles. I really need to like have a visual cue for this drop. Know like where to line up to fall. So I'm kind of just doing it based on feel, like, maybe I should move a bit to the left or the right, you know. But I should really just know, like, line up exactly with this part of the screen every time. So I can stop taking fall damage there, because it's, I mean, it's not a huge time loss. But it's, you know, it's something. Excuse me. Gosh, the problem with white lizards ignoring you, though, is that they don't get out of the way when you want them to. They won't chase you, you know? So don't mind me. Blue lizard here is actually potentially dangerous. We'll do this. Oh. Oh, wow. That was efficient. Well, good job. Damn. I kind of got stuck on them. If I managed to touch the ground, I could have gotten a roll pounce and it would have been a lot faster to escape. You have to shelter in pebbles because you won't be able to go through the gates twice in the same cycle. No, my consistent strategy. Let's go this way. Green lizard in the way. It's funny, I remember trying to grab that that fruit at the top of the room for a long time, and it was just impossible. I just could not get enough height at all. And then suddenly at some point I tried it and it was just easy. Like, oh, you can just like make it up there. I mean, it's pretty easy to mess up still. But it's not impossible, just like knowing what inputs to do at the right time. Remember when I said I was gonna be more careful around lizards? But also, this is monk, so lizards should not exist essentially. I guess if I like jump directly into a lizard, they're probably going to get mad. But there were so many lizards in that room there was like no place I couldn't go. Or no place where there wasn't a lizard. Oh, there's no rock. Oh, that was kind of close. Oh yeah, I think part of this time loss is from the green lizard, from when I was getting food. And part of it is from not doing the dragon jump. Actually, I'm holding the spear. Thought there's something over here, but it's just like an item making some noise for no reason. It's funny actually, like when an item like lands or moves around or something, it makes a noise, and it's the noise that you tend to associate with scavengers, because when scavengers move around, they're holding a bunch of spears and rocks and such, and so that's the sound that they make, because the spears like hit the floor when they're walking around. So it's easy to assume that when you hear an item moving around, that it's a scavenger. Okay, made back some time here. Wow, gold split. I guess then you don't run into any creatures. Batfly. I only have rocks here, so don't mess this up. Nice. Where are all the lizards? They're on vacation. They heard that Monk is coming by, but they don't really care about Monk. Maybe if it was Survivor or like Hunter even, then they'd go crazy. Just Monk, don't really care. There was actually no creatures at all in the whole region. And I got the pull hop. Well, I did mess up the grab at the end. Hello. Welcome to the stream. There's been egg bugs. There's a lizard. Okay, yeah, Monk isn't able to make that jump from the pole. Can't throw that spear too far away. Remember, don't do that jump here. Actually lost time there. That's interesting. Despite the lack of creatures, there is time lost still. I guess just because of movement. How hard would the speedruns be if there's no throw boosting? Throw boosting as in, it's kind of throw boost, just make you jump further. Or any movement that involves throwing stuff, like extended instant hops or E-slides or like any of that kind of movement. Because usually when I say throw boost, I just mean any movement that involves throwing an item. But throw boosting is also the specific action of like throwing just to make your jump go a little bit further. Because, I mean, if you didn't have that, it would kind of make the speedrun easier, right? If there's less movement tech, then there's less movement to mess up, less things to learn, you know? Regular throw boosting. I guess in that case, that specific movement, it actually does make the game easier because it's super easy to do. I don't think it really make the run that much harder because most of the time when we're throw boosting, it's just to prevent us from having to do some other kind of movement instead, you know? Yeah, don't mind me. So if there's a jump that you have to do a charge pounce for or a roll pounce for, you could alternatively just jump and do a throw boost, right? And that's much faster. You don't need to like go backwards a bit to do the roll. You don't need to lie down to do the charge pounce. You just throw and you make the jump. So it would make the run a little bit slower. But I mean, doing it like a charge pounce or a roll pounce isn't really difficult either. So I wouldn't say that makes the run. That really changes the run's difficulty, you know. I hate making that mistake. Just be safe, you know. I need to worry about the. You know, just be careful. I was kind of thinking about this earlier today. It's interesting how some games have some aspects of them that are completely unrealistic, but that we just don't care about at all. Like, think about the fact that Rain World is a 2D game, and everything is stuck on this 2D plane at all times, you know? You can't walk, like, towards the screen or away from the screen, you know? And that's, like, really unrealistic, right? To just be stuck on, like, a single plane, right? every 2D game has this problem. It's like, why not just like move in this direction, you know? If there's a lizard in the way, why not just walk around in them? But, you know, that's just not possible. And that's just kind of how the game works, you know? And it's totally normal. It's like, oh yeah, this game is just like stuck on a 2D plane. That's just how the game is, you know? I guess there's only some cases in like hyper-realistic 3D games, you know, those are where it's like, okay, we're actually trying to be like normal. We're trying to emulate reality instead of just making our own little video game universe and then, you know, sticking to those like set of rules. Dude, really? The easiest part of this movement? .4D edition. It doesn't advertise itself as fair. No, it does have, I'd say that's what the pipes are for, you know? Because like when you're comparing 2D and 3D games, it's quite hard to make a 2D game feel very open. Like there's only 2 directions to go unless you can fly. I guess in like Rain World, there's very vertical terrain. It's like there's a lot of poles to climb, so the whole space is like, it goes in all directions. Wiggle flight. I'd say that actually that's something that Rain World does very well, making the world feel very open and letting you explore in every direction. That was kind of close. Like it's kind of hard to imagine like a 2D game that focuses on exploration if it only goes like left and right, you know. That just doesn't really. Oh, I forgot Chinese again. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I don't need these rocks. Like, if you imagine, like, Breath of the Wild, okay? Breath of the Wild is known for its environment. That, like, first opening scene when you walk out of the cave and there's, like, this huge landscape to explore and it's like, see that mountain? You can climb it. That kind of thing does not work in 2D games. You cannot do that. Because if you were to take, like, a 2D slice of Breath of the Wild, it'd be boring. It'd just be, you know, like planes in this direction, maybe a mountain to climb up, you know, there's like nothing to do. If you want like that kind of feeling of like a huge world to explore, you need to actually like be able to have that freedom to explore. Usually 2D games that have a lot of exploration, I would say, like Rain World, like Hollow Knight, like Metroid, they have that verticality to them. But you still like don't really get a feel for how big the world is. I guess Terraria too. Terraria kind of counts too. That has quite a lot to explore and it's very vertical. But for a big chunk of the game, you are kind of stuck to like the surface, which kind of has the same problem of just being kind of flat, you know. And until you have like wings, you can't really explore the sky that much. And underground exploration is kind of slow and you can't really see much. I dropped the neuron. That really sucks. Come back. I don't want to like jump to grab one because then I end up floating aimlessly for like a long time. I guess I should have jumped there. All right, whatever. Yes? No? Please, just let me grab you. I would have had two already if I didn't accidentally drop one. That's unfortunate. Also, partially why I'm debating not eating one. Like, is glowing worth like 40 seconds of time loss? Maybe even more. Oh, I almost got it then. I'm still floating though, so that's kind of bad. I should really take advantage of these holes so you can jump to them and then jump back without just floating aimlessly. Please. This is actually starting to be a big problem. Like, I'm like really losing time here. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Like in Rain World, you don't really get. Oh shoot! I'm making another mistake. When you're climbing up pebbles, you don't really get the feel that you're climbing up something huge until you get to the top of the wall and you see the other iterators in the distance. You're like, oh, that's what I've been climbing this whole time, you know? It's the background that actually shows you where you've been going, even though you're already halfway up climbing, you know, or more than halfway, but maybe not including the city, whatever. If it was Breath of the Wild, assuming there's iterators in Breath of the Wild, you would see this massive supercomputer thing in the distance and you'd be like, oh, I can go climb that, you know? And that'd be like a big monument of like a thing that you want to go to explore eventually. But you never know about it on Pebbles until you get there in Rain World. This is a huge time loss. That's really annoying. Just don't climb over there. Yeah, that's like a minute of time, or maybe like 30 seconds time loss. I guess it took quite a while for me to get the neurons last time too, but okay, this is normal. This is normal. I was like, no, I don't want this, but you're always gonna see the stream. Just like Skyrim. Sure. Run ended already. Not quite. Whatever, I can make some time back. Actually, this looks kind of awful. Like a minute time loss already. Really? Oh, actually, speaking of like 3D and 2D games, like Breath of the Wild is the comparison or the example that I used for a game that's very flat, you know. I guess actually, you know, Tears of the Kingdom kind of fixes that problem. It has the Tears of the Kingdom spoilers. It has the Sky Islands, so there's like verticality, and then it has the depths, so you can go up and down to explore different areas. But it kind of just feels like there's like 3 layers, you know. Like, you go down to the depths and you explore that, and then you go up to the Skylands and you explore that. But it might as well just be, like, 3 layers of the world stacked on top of each other, you know? And there's not really, I mean, I'm not too familiar with 3D games in general. Even if that's kind of a weird thing to say. But there's not many games that focus a lot on verticality. Like Rain World is kind of like huge vertically, Like the Iterator goes crazy high. Sky Islands is pretty high up. Metropolis goes even higher than that, and you go down to like Chimney, and then Industrial, and then Outskirts, and then Drainage, and then Filtration. Like it just keeps going, you know, down to the depth. I feel like that kind of exploration is, and I feel like it'd be really impactful in 3D too, because you can actually see the whole range of like heights in the world. You could stand up on Metropolis and then see the entire rest of the world below you. The same kind of feel as like Breath of the Wild, where you can see the whole world ahead of you and like thinking I can explore that. You know, imagine that, but it's with the, like a world that is equally large, but also like vertical instead of horizontal. I guess there's usually not a like focus on verticality in 3D games just because of your lack of vision. If like areas were equally as busy as they were in like Rain World, with like rooms above and below you and to the side of you, you know, all over the place in all directions, then you know you wouldn't really be able to see very far at any moments, you know. If you look up, there's something there. If you look down, there's something there. If you look to the side, there's something over there and then over there. Whereas, you know, most games in regular just landscapes, you know, you can see quite far. And that's what we're usually used to seeing. Where am I going? I'm going to Industrial and then Shaded Rain. Just make sure I don't go in the wrong direction. Just don't dislike me for no reason. Didn't want to fall down here, but whatever. Please, just climb. Also, I need to remember where I sheltered. I guess I sheltered in, like, Shoreline, right? Like, I didn't have enough time to make it further than that. The fact that Pixels is gonna almost catch you doing that. This is like the most stressful jump in the whole game. Okay, yeah, sure. I don't want any movement at all. Just mess up everything. You guys are nice, right? Yeah, they're cool. No throwables at all. Thank you, Shaded. Clearly I'm with the C in these rooms though. I don't think it was worth how long it took to get the neuron though. And I should probably just memorize the layout of these rooms in darkness anyway. Oh, I need a spear. Hey dude. Mind the spiders. Okay. I should probably just do a glide into roll pounce for that jump. Oh, that's a big one. That's actually dangerous. Is there a mod that makes coelecipedes out of wolf spiders or even spitter spiders? I'm really throwing now. Please. Can I get a single tunnel boost? Ah. Wow, okay. Jade bridge. I wanted to pick up that rock and then I didn't really know what movement to do down there. Okay, no playing around this time. Actually, I think I'm gonna skip third neuron. It took so long to get. And it's such a gamble too, you know? It's not like you can just like store away the extra neuron, you know? I guess you could, right? If you've already eaten the popcorn plant, you might as well just put one neuron in your stomach. And if you just happen to pick up another neuron while you're doing that, then, you know, you can keep it, but... Because if you eat one right away, well, actually, I guess that's the problem. You can't eat one and then store one. Or I guess you could store one and then grab two and then eat one later, but that kind of defeats the purpose of storing one in advance. I don't know. I was cleaning. That's 80% movement there. Oops, I just pulled up. I didn't need that much food. I'm not a survivor. I'm not real. You're right, Rubicon. Nice. Monk's story percent is bringing 2 neurons to moon, bringing the cloak to moon, and then ending in outer expanse. Not real, confirmed. I was saying monk isn't real to the pink lizard. To any of the lizards, ideally. I shouldn't even exist. Steve's to sneak by, you know. Change your language. You know what? I'm just gonna do that right now. I'm gonna reset in case that causes any problems. Don't really think of monk story as being a category where you need with a lot of dialogue. I guess there isn't really a lot of dialogue, but it probably saves a few seconds, so you might as well, you know. Can't see yellow very well. It's like a color blindness thing. Is there even a type of color blindness that can't see yellow in particular? I guess probably right. Yeah, don't do the backflip there. Just grab one fruit. That's all I need. I like partially ate like the rest of the fruit, so that's kind of unnecessary. Please don't move down. Okay, I guess you got out of the way kind of quickly. And I'm not dead. Huh? You know what? Maybe I'll do monk tomorrow too. If I don't finish a run today. I haven't even gotten to submerged yet. I mean, I definitely should have. There's no reason to die in shaded. Not in chimney yet. You know what? This song kind of bothers me because it normally plays when you enter chimney, but it also plays at one particular moment for Saint, and it's kind of annoying that they reuse this song because it's like an impactful moment, you know, Saint. But it's like, oh, I've heard this song before. I'm entering chimney. That's not what I'm not really thinking about. It's like a distraction, you know. Like, why is this song playing? I'm not entering chimney. Maybe that's just like maybe that's a me problem. Time loss. I don't know what that was from. Oh, I guess the green lizard. So I can't the throw boost here. I need the spear. That's happened for the second time again. Make sure that I'm holding that spear in the right hand. I tried this. That's difficult. What? Like, you don't even get enough height to make it up there. Or unless I did something wrong. That was a wall pounce. It's like a wall jump, but better. That's gonna be annoying. Okay, we're good. More time loss. Doesn't really feel like there's time loss, but I guess there is. Karma Lizard. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, in Rain World, even very small mistakes can make a big difference. If that Karma Lizard, like if I did an AI hop and I immediately jumped across that gap with no problem at all, that would have been several seconds faster compared to falling down the pit and then the Karma Lizard spitting at me. Like, oh, well, I did everything else. I guess I also messed up the wall pounce, so that lost time too. Okay, we're falling down here. Got the bat fly, sorry about that. Okay, I'm really throwing the movement here. Pink, not a problem. Maybe if it was a blue lizard, it would have climbed on the wall. These bat flies don't be a problem, blue lizard. You think the blue lizard is going to be a problem? Ah, that sucks. I messed up like twice there. Just do a backflip and then press jump when you hit the wall. If your body is in the right position, then it just works. Specifically, your head needs to hit the wall first. There's a white lizard down there. Wait, that's actually really funny. That white lizard is blending in with the sky. Isn't that weird? And it only works from this perspective, from the side view. If you were looking at that lizard from any other angle, you would totally just see the lizard standing out from like in front of the, like any of the terrain. But since we can only see them in front of the background, then that actually works. That's really funny. Oh wow, I'm really bad. I should keep losing that. I mean, you can do it like this. Just backflip. And then press jump right to the wall. I mean, there's so many other ways to do wall pounces. And those ways are useful in runs. Remember earlier when I was like, hey, it's a good thing I'm comparing against the bad runs, so the splits don't look bad. And now the splits look bad. That's cool. Rock at some point. Okay, I'm taking a risk here. There's gonna be a rock up on the higher platform. Okay, there is. Sorry about that. I didn't want to hit you. And okay. Other white lizard. Other white lizard. No, they've given up. Man, this is supposed to be an easy run, and I'm suddenly way worse at it. Like, yeah, you should be looking out for white lizards in the room that usually has white lizards in it. And you shouldn't just run straight into them. That's like not a mistake that you should be making. Beating a lizard. I think the lizard reputation is already high enough for the sake of this run. Like, they really aren't a problem. Like, only if you run directly into their face, it's a problem. Which I keep doing, and that's my own mistake. And just having to go out of your way to, like, kill some creature if you do to a lizard, you know. That's, like, just a lot of extra time that is just unnecessary. And actually, that's the same for the hunter or for the vulture mask. You don't need the mask. It's honestly just a time loss. And if like a task run that is like as fast as possible, if your goal is just to get the fastest possible time in that speedrun, then the mask loses you time. The difference is that in Spearmaster, there's so many more dangerous lizards, and those lizards are much more aggressive. It actually significantly increases your chances of actually finishing the run if you have a mask. Whereas Monk, you know, it kind of doesn't really make a difference whether the lizards are there or not. I mean, it is, obviously. I'm kind of proving that now by being bad, but if you just, like, step around lizards, then they just aren't a problem. And the run pretty much goes the same. Like, honestly, it might be even worse if you had a Vulture because, I mean, for Monk, they would run away from you and potentially get in the way later. Or, like, get stuck in pipes. Oops, Karma Cash here. No time loss from Karma Cash. One more. We're good. We're in Shoreline. Not yet. The run's over. Reset. I just wasn't far enough. That was bad. Okay, whatever. Yay, more time loss. Excited about this. Like, if there's no Squid Kata and a lizard right next to each other, you stab the Squid Kata and throw it at the lizard. Like, if it's that quick, maybe. I guess there's a lot of egg bugs in the run. That's probably what you would use. But egg bugs are quite fast and kind of hard to hit. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I'm going to try to do that wall pants. I'm really bad at that. Yeah, Hop. That one in particular, you just don't really have much space to do it. Okay, that guy's moving. Doesn't be a problem. I guess I should try dealing with them the same way that I deal with the red lizard. They're in the same spots after all. Just try to, like, he's gonna want to go through the pipe if he sees me up there. Instead of just jumping down. The difference is that a red lizard is much more dangerous. And will actually, like, kill you. Instead of just slow you down. But slowing you down is kind of the same thing, you know? Yeah, that was not any better. Which is, you know, I was actually able to save a lot of time in Chimney before. Or in Industrial. Just making it through the Chimney gate. He would have paused the one who killed that egg bug. I guess you do return to Chimney, right? You go back to Industrial and Chimney and the wall, so feeding any creature there would be worth it. Any lizard. I don't think there's anything to feed in the wall, so just be Chimney if you can get that egg bug. Or I guess Industrial is probably the best place. I think some of that would carry over into Chimney, although I think that's mostly how scavengers work. I don't know if the same thing applies to lizards. Like if you befriend scavengers in one region, then scavengers in adjacent regions will be more affected than regions further away. But also there's going to be some increase to global reputation that I think is the same for all regions. I don't know. Wow. Please get away from me. I don't want you. Ah, that was mediocre. I keep losing a few seconds every split. That time loss was probably from the Batfly, actually. I don't think the play this is ever going to change much from how it is now. Honestly, there's a few songs that I kind of feel like removing. But I'm pretty much only going to use it for Rainworld speedruns as an alternative to the Rainworld OST itself, you know? The in-game music. Monk and Survivor are a bit slower than Spearmaster, Hunter, and Artificer. I uploaded videos, that's a funny idea. I don't have another rock. That's kind of not good. There's a rock up here. Just don't mess this up. Nice. Ah, that actually is really bad. No, it isn't. Not in this room. It's the next room that's the problem. There's a lizard here too. Okay, not my chance. Nope. They're too good. That's a very fast white. Usually that's like something that a pink lizard would do. This guy isn't gonna save me. Maybe these, the way that lizard looks is because of one of its stats being really high. I don't know. kind of in a weird position when it comes to making YouTube videos. I guess you could kind of sum it all up by saying that, you know, I'm not very confident with my video creation skills, so any idea that I have is, I'm just gonna think that I'm not gonna be able to do it before I even get started. But like, for like speedrun content, like what kind of videos do I make about speedrunning other than the speedruns themselves, right? Like I could make guides, but I don't know. I feel like guides are really weird. Like there's already so many resources out. I mean, honestly, for resources, I just assume that you can just watch a speedrun. Just watch someone do a speedrun, do the same thing that they're doing, and you're already like, you're already there. Good job. You're speedrunning. You know. Histories. I don't know enough about Rain World speedrun history. That's a funny idea. Summoning Salt video. But, like I have to like go and like look at a bunch of old videos and probably like ask a bunch of questions to people about their old runs. The runs are mine. No. My runs aren't the interesting part of Rain World speedruns. I think like early Pebble percent or any percent would be more interesting. And I don't really want to make videos that are just like clips of the game. I did that for a little while, like a handful of videos are like that, and also the videos that did really well. But they aren't really interesting. Like I don't really feel like I made those videos. Like any person could have just like compiled a bunch of Rain World clips together, and they would have made the same videos, right? I don't really have anything to do with it. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the easiest kind of video to make would be like edited streams. But I feel like these streams aren't the right kind of stream for that. I guess the ones that I should have made into videos were the ideas that I've already done, right? Those kind of like challenge videos or modded things, you know. So take some sort of like idea or challenge that I had that I did a stream of, that kind of thing could have been edited into a video. But I feel like I don't want to go back to old streams and like do anything with those. Like if I wanted to do that thing now, I would have to stream it knowing that I was going to make it into a video, you know? I feel like I might try to do that if I, when I play another game. I kind of wanted to do that with the Spelunky streams. Whoops, that was not lined up correctly. Maybe when Silksong comes out, huh? Yeah, I would watch my own stream back and be like, none of this is worth putting in for like highlights, and I just wouldn't end up making the video. Ah, I don't have a spear. Did I have a spear and I just threw it away back there? I'm not paying attention. I mean, okay, that's literally the idea that I was about to start talking about. Obviously, any skill that you're going to start doing, you're going to be bad at. If you want to be an artist, you need to make bad art. That is a requirement. No one skips the bad, art phase. Unless you like drew as a kid, and then you like just kind of like got good by the time you like started being conscious. That's kind of cheating, isn't it? If you do something so young that like you don't even remember practicing it at first, and you're just kind of always good at that skill. I remember thinking that like back in like elementary school, other students who are like really good at arts, I was like, damn, I wish I was good at arts. But I didn't realize that at the time that was when I should have been drawing, right? If I wanted to be good at arts, that's when you should practice the most. You know, it's easy to think that it's too late right now, even though right now is probably the best time. But yeah, if I wanted to make YouTube videos, then like specifically like highly edited videos that weren't just like highlights of streams or something, or like random clips, I would end up making bad videos and I wouldn't want to upload them. Here. It also depends on how much I care about this whole YouTube thing anyway. Like I could try to like full send focus everything on like making YouTube videos and doing interesting streams. And like I'd have good reason to try to improve as much as possible. Or I could not. And just do something else. It's like I could just keep these streams as like a very casual thing, you know? Just to hang out. I don't know. Okay, I'm very consistently losing time on every single split ever, so I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not really paying attention. The most likely thing to happen is nothing at all. Maybe I shouldn't throw this rock here. Because I need it. If I don't get a rock later, it's pretty bad. Thank you, Monk. Looks like there is some variance in the amount of height that you get when you do that wall pound. Okay, no lizards here. You know, actually, I think if I tried to make, let's say that I was able to make a video that was like a speedrun guide, right? I feel like I wouldn't even want to like show people the video. There's some lizards here. Like that sounds like self-promotion, and that's kind of annoying, right? Oh, that's cool. Like, hey guys, I made this video. You should watch it if you want to be good at speedrunning. Like that sounds annoying. Even if that is the point of the video. There's a lizard in the pipe. You can't really do anything about that. I feel like if it's based on your current speed, the amount of speed that you get from throwing a rock should be the same every time, right? Because that kind of wall bounce is very consistent. I guess maybe it depends on how far you are from the wall. Timing is not the same. I thought the timing had to be the same for it to work. I thought that it was the frame perfect input. That you had to press all the buttons at the same time. Usually the dragon jump is very consistent. I guess I'm kind of saying opposite things now. I'm just gonna focus on the speedrun now. I could do this whole thing without actually making any progress. Like my reasoning, my idea was like, oh, I don't want to do Speedmaster, so I'm gonna do an easy category like Monk, and I'll actually be able to finish a run in a reasonable amount of time. Enough rain rolled. Enough root for Oide. Yeah, actually, this has all been warm-up. RNG manipulation. Is RNG manipulation even possible in Rain World? If there were task tools and you could like, cause, I mean, I guess, okay, the most RNG manipulation there is right now is with the pre-cycles and with slug pups. If you sleep in a shelter at a specific time, then you can guarantee slug pups to spawn in certain locations. Same with shelter failures. I think it works the same for those. I'm not as confident. But it, like, I don't think there's any, I mean, I don't know how the randomness works. I don't think it depends on your inputs. If you stand still, different things are gonna happen. Lucky spear up here. Yeah, there's some resources on the Rain World Discord, like a whole spreadsheet of different times you can shelter at to get slug pups to spawn in specific shelters. It's like on this cycle, if you sleep at this time, then the slug pup will show up in this location. I think it's how it works. I haven't really looked into it. All I know is that it makes speedruns involving slug pups consistent. If you want to get, because there's a passage for it, right? So if you're doing 100% and you want to get the passage for sheltering with slug pups, then you do that. You sleep at a specific time and then slug pups always spawn. Because otherwise, in speedruns, getting a slug pup is just completely random. And shelter failures don't really matter because you can turn those off in speedruns anyway. But if they did matter, you could kind of control it, I guess. I guess the only time you would want it is that if you want a really long cycle, you go somewhere, but the rain didn't really affect that area. Although usually the rain does affect every area, either on the surface where like it's very much a problem. Carmel, you suck. Or like underground, where sometimes the pre-cycle can lead to flooding. That's just really annoying. Like the red lizard is not nearly as bad as this Carmel. Actually, I said it. Carmel's worse than red. And that's gonna be like a 10-second time loss. Nope, just kidding, this guy is. Maybe I'll turn off splits. I didn't eat the fruit. That makes karma caching annoying. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. The kind of RNG manipulation where you press a specific sequence of inputs and it causes specific actions to happen. That's like a thing in older games, because they just read your inputs for random values. So if you do the same inputs every time, the same random events happen. I don't think that's really a thing anymore. Hello, welcome to the screen. I think a lot of random number generators also use the time as an input for like or as like a seed for random values. Because like time will just like kind of keep going up, and it'll always be a new value. Yeah, no dragon jump today. Or this cycle. There's been plenty today. Can't do that roll. I don't have a spear, so if I don't get lucky, that's also bad. Alright. And I fell down here for no reason. I guess if you can do that jump, you don't really need a spear, but it's better. You know, maybe I will stream Lethal Company. I was kind of against it because it sounded really boring, but maybe it's just something different that I need to do. Maybe there definitely is such a thing as too many Rain World speedruns. I mean, even the expedition thing that I did last stream, that kind of just ended up being a speedrun because I knew where to go, so I just needed to get from one location to another, right? Maybe that's all Rain World is really. Like any idea what I come up with now, scavengers. What the heck? Excuse me. Any idea I come up with now, any challenge for the game is just gonna boil down to go from here to here. Oh, thank you. Which is probably, you know, I probably know a route from some speedrun that goes from here to there, so. That's great. Deja vu. I will stream more Sphere Master story percent than anything else. It's not my decision. It's Sphere Master. I don't have a choice. I do have a choice. I guess it's just you know, I spent so much time on Sphere Master already. It's like a waste to like stop now, you know. I don't know. I feel like if I don't do Spear Master, I might as well just give up on all the speedruns. I'll just focus on like a handful that are the easiest. Or I don't know, maybe not do speedruns at all. Yeah, it's kind of funny how I ended up here because I never like had the intent of doing speedruns as the focus of these streams. It's just that I think the main reason is that it's hard to move away to any other game. Like I stream Rain World, and so that's what I'm going to be streaming, you know. And you know, now that I've done all of the content in the game, mostly, all that's left is just to replay things I've already done, you know. And speedruns are very replayable. That's kind of the whole point. And so because I was stuck with doing speedruns, I mean, I wasn't stuck with them like completely, but you know, if I'm going to be doing speedruns, I need to come up with interesting ideas, and so I came up with goals. And it kind of ended up being one of the goals to like try to complete all the story percent speedruns, or to try to get all the world records. Like I already have like 3 of the world records. I might as well go for the rest of them, you know. I shouldn't be unhappy doing it. Yeah, let me just enjoy the category. If you're not having fun, just have fun. It's that easy. Thank you for the advice. I will now go play Sphere Master and enjoy it. Yeah, that one is like less consistent. As you just don't get enough height. You know what's funny? Anyone here familiar with the Bloons Tower Defense 6? Just wondering. I mean, maybe you know about the game. It's actually quite popular, but like, have you like actually played it a decent amount? I guess that's the question. Oh, another white lizard. That's cool. 2 white lizards actually. Oh, I was looking at chat and I didn't see that I was not going into the pipe. BGD6 has a map editor where you can create your own little courses and like decorate them and such. And I've actually created a decent amount of them. When the map editor was first released in a recent update, well, recent-ish, I basically just like played the game a whole lot, just making a bunch of maps. Geometry Dash is another game that has a map editor. It has you know, tools for making levels. But I've found that it's way more difficult to make Geometry Dash levels than BG6 maps. I guess that's very obvious, right? There's so many more tools in a Geometry Dash level. There's so much more in the level, you know. Like several minutes of gameplay is like a lot of efforts, where, you know, BG6 is like one map that, you know, there's not much going on. It's obviously way easier. But it's like, I didn't really have any problem with making BG6 maps. That was a lot of fun, and I think part of that was just because I had no expectations. In GD, you know, there's a lot of expectations of quality in the levels, you know. Like, people are very harsh. I mean, even in like some levels that are rated, there are people in the comments that are very harsh. That are saying that the gameplay is bad, the decoration's bad, whatever is bad. You know, people like to complain about it a whole lot. I mean, that's probably just because people like to complain. If you play a level and it's annoying, then you're gonna go to the comment section and complain about it. I mean, some people will, but there's expectations for what a Geometry Dash level is, for how good the gameplay should be, how good the music sync should be, how good the decoration should be. And BGD6, who cares? Just make a level and upload it. Like, who cares, you know? And that was my viewpoint. That's the way that I saw it. I went on to BGD6 and I was like, I'm just gonna create maps and upload them, just because it's fun, you know. And like, it's not like people care, you know. Whereas, like, I can't just make a GD level and just upload it, because, I mean, it's not like people care about that either. Plenty of levels get uploaded on the recent tab, and it's like, you know, that's just expected. You know, there's an expected level of quality there. I think it's just that there's a feeling that the average GD level needs to have a lot of like effort put into it, whereas like there's no expectations for a BGD6 map, you know. And even like the best maps made in that game aren't even like that amazing. Like, they have like some effort put into the decoration and like maybe some like clever trick like perspective or something, but you know, that's not really a focus. Anyway, it's gonna be the end of the stream. I don't know. Kind of feel weird about Rainworld right now. I mean, how long has it been? I'm actually gonna check my channel. I mean, yeah, pretty much. I guess you could say 3 months ago, or maybe 4 months ago. Yeah, I think that was the transition. About 4 months ago, I kind of just started doing only speedruns. Like before that, there was like a lot of mix of like other challenges or mods, or I mean, there were times where I focused on speedruns, but there were also like mods sprinkled in, or maybe some sort of challenge. Or even if I was doing a speedrun, it's probably a new speedrun that I haven't done before, so that was still new in a way. But for the past 4 months, I've just been doing these speedruns. I don't know. Maybe I should just take a break. Just kind of wait a little bit. I don't know. It's like, do I still want to do these streams and just not do speedruns? Or like, do I even still play Rain World? Like, what else do I do in Rain World other than a speedrun? I don't know. It's like it's still I still want to do the speedruns. Like, I mean, maybe it's like a different part. Like part of me has these goals where it's like I want to get this world record. I want to finish the speedrun, you know. And then part of me is like, well, I'd actually have to sit down and like grind for hours to get this, you know. The idea sounds a lot better, doesn't it? I mean, actually, not for Spearmaster. Spearmaster's like never sounds appealing, but like Monk, I didn't think Monk would be that bad. Like, oh yeah, Monk is a fun speedrun. They're a pretty easy character to play. The lizards aren't going to be a problem at all. I can just run through them. This is going to be a fun time, and then I end up dying a whole bunch to white lizards. So I don't know. I think that's the main thing I'm bothered by right now. I should have this was like supposed to be easy, and it ended up being like way more difficult than I thought. It's like, well, damn. I'll think about it. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.